salesmanship. And he said, we can break through and make a quantum leap on the continent through nuclear power. And, already the big nations that have confirmed are Egypt, Ghana,
Kenya?
Kenya.
Unbelievable, Dr. Mumbi. Kenya is part of those that signed the agreement.
We owe the Chinese.
Yes.
The Chinese own our lung and the British own our liver.
What are our leaders? What do they want?
And now we've given our kidneys away.
This is selling the republic out. It's selling the country out, Dr. Mumbi. It is selling the country.
Talk about Kenya too much, but seriously?
You all hear that?
Zambia, Rwanda, and Ethiopia. The big nation that wasn't there, of course, was South Africa.
South Africa.
In terms of big economies. South Africa, they had signed a deal with Zuma, but nothing has happened. It hasn't moved forward because it's pricey.
Yes, it's a lot of money.
Highly capital investment. Is that even, and some of the challenges that even this Alexei was quoting, he was saying,
KK rotate from the Rift Valley Informer. We're just listening to Dr. Mumbi saying that 18 countries have signed a deal with Russia. 18 African countries have signed a deal with Russia to build nuclear facilities in Africa. You just wonder, where will the money come from? Really think about it. We cannot even provide food for our poor people. Yet we can sign a multi-billion shilling deal about nuclear energy, which our economy may not even be able to sustain. What are we going to do with all this energy if we happen to build it anyway? The countries that signed the deal ask themselves how will the people benefit from it? How? What is the gross domestic product of these countries? Are they able to pay for the nuclear power? Something is not right over here. And I agree with Dr. Mumbi saying that they are signing the present presidents who went there now, their mandate is 5 years, maybe at most. And they are signing a contract with Russia for 25 years or even more. So here we are seeing how our countries are being enslaved right in front of our eyes. The people of Africa are sliding again into slavery. And this time around it is economic slavery. Like you say, Dr. Mumbi, really, we owe the Chinese, which those roads that they built, the SGC railway road in Kenya, has it paid anything yet? Or we're going to have to pay for the next 100 years? Now we are slaves to China. We are signing to be slaves with Russia. Here the Americans and the British are there. We are slaves to all these nations. What in the world is this? Our presidents, the Kenyan president, the Zambian president, the Ghanaian president, and all the rest who have signed this deal. You selling Africa. Are you leaders? You selling the people of Africa? I guess for your own benefit. But I don't understand how Russia would say they have forgiven the debt, $20 billion debt to Africa, yet they are back to sign. Probably in every country must be that amount that they just say they have forgiven. So if every country pays $20 billion to Russia, or even more, or shillings, maybe it's in terms of shillings, I don't know. I mean, as 18 countries, that's almost $500 million, and then they have the audacity to tell that, oh, they have forgiven 20 billion for Africa. Yet out of that, they will come back and take 50 times, maybe even 100 times that. How stupid is this? I mean, is this how African leaders should be, really? I mean, they cannot see this. I mean, how blunted are our African leaders, really? I mean, right now, really, we are beginning to see how the so-called African Americans who have been in slavery for 400 years, and they complain that Africans sold them to slavery. And now that could be possible because the leaders of today are actually selling all African resources to those countries who have dollars. This is actually they're selling the African people to slavery. So we can easily see how slavery can actually be orchestrated by our own leaders. Unbelievable. I just cannot believe the black people all over the world have continued to suffer, and mostly in the hands of their leaders. The common man doesn't know what's going on. They just keep following. Before long, they just find themselves enslaved again, and it will be almost impossible to come out of it. With these contracts that are being signed by these nations now, the contracts that all these nations are signing with Africa, this will enslave Africa for another 1,000 years. Mark my words. This appears to be another millennia of slavery again. And the people must rise up and say no. These leaders that are signing 25-year contracts with these nations should know very well that their mandate is ends in 5 years and everything should be cancelled immediately after that. Although, even if we cancel it, we'll have lost a lot of money anyway. So this is insane, man. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, let's continue listening to what Dr. Mumbi is saying over here. Let's continue.
The cost is really high, the skills training, the security and infrastructure, etc., etc. But yeah, so the nuclear deal that was signed with Nigeria in 2017 still hasn't taken off. South Africa as well is kind of hesitant. They didn't sign on this time, but the first one is set to begin construction in Egypt, and it's going to cost about $29 billion. So remember a few days ago I told you Russia forgave $20 billion of African debt?
Yeah,
so
that?
they've just signed contracts to build almost 20 power plant stations, right? Nuclear power, whatever they're called. And one is going for 29B.
Just one country alone. Just one country alone.
So you guys were right. A lot of you were like, yo, there's something about this. Like, the forgiveness is not, it has strings. I guess these are the strings.
And the elements of the elite. That I get opportunity, when I get opportunity to address them, that between 1472, when the first European reached the West African coast in Sierra Leone, and 1994, when our South African brothers and sisters regained their freedom, the African peoples were afflicted by calamity-causing phenomena. These were the slave trade, genocide in some cases, colonialism, neocolonialism, stagnation if not regression and socio-economic transformation, and missing out on the historic industrial revolutions that helped man to relatively tame the natural phenomena that oppressed him since creation, i.e. the phenomena of disease, floods, drought, etc. Therefore, I am always most pleased to visit the Russian Federation because it carries the heritage of the glory of the Soviet Union, not only in having supported us in our anti-colonial struggle, but also in having saved the human race from the dangers of the demonic fascism of Hitler and allies. Africa had capitulated to foreign domination on account of internal weaknesses. Since independence, we have been addressing some of these weaknesses. Recently, we signed the Continental Free Trade Area CFTA agreement as a follow-up on the 1991 Abuja Treaty. Therefore, we can now support one another's prosperity through trade, investments, and tourism. The historical relationship between Africa on the one hand with Russia, China, India, and the other third world countries on the other hand can bring about stability in the world through balanced and mutually beneficial trade, investments, and tourism. The future of the world is bright if we act rightly. You hear of many think tanks in the world. How can you have so many think tanks when they do not do any thinking? If these think tanks think, then who pushes for policies of sanctions against huge economic units like Russia? Why use sanctions? Why interfere in the internal affairs of other countries? Why don't actors allow different ideas to peacefully compete? Then the right idea will emerge. The emergence of China as the second biggest economy in the world has helped the whole world, including the West. Yet, they are still a communist country. Therefore, countries that are clear-headed, not jaundiced by ideological, philosophical, and strategic myopia.
That's the president of Uganda, Museveni, addressing the summit between the African nations and Russia. African people must wake up and say no to these leaders selling everything that we have in Africa for their own benefit. This is not the benefit of any nation in Africa. It's the benefit these leaders and their cronies in government, all of them. I don't see any African leader who is really fighting for his own people or our own people. There's nowhere. You know, maybe president of Tanzania, that's the only one we can give him credit for what he's doing. But the rest, no. They're just selling Africa left and right. And I hope how we Africans wake up. I hope we do wake up on time. We are losing everything again, losing our land. Sooner or later, we may not even have land for our own food. And we'll be waiting for these corporations to provide the worst food for us. Anyway. KK Rotate from the Rift Valley Informer. Thank you for listening. Please join us again next time. Thank you.